Okay, this has definitely never been done before. I'm in the car. I had an event that I was going to tonight, and but I didn't want to miss my live, so here I am having my car confessions. But it's really a Facebook Live, so I guess we're doing a double whammy tonight. So I don't know when Joe's on, when he's not on, that kind of thing. So I'll just wait to see who's there. Anyone? Yay, Katie. Okay. Hi, Katie. Anyway, okay, so tonight, sorry, I'm in the car. Sorry, I look like a crazy person. Anyway, tonight I wanted to talk about the infamous, oh my God, I don't know, pretty dreaded words a parent can hear, I hate you, or some incarnation of I hate you. I think most parents do not want to hear that. But the reason that I wanted to discuss it is because it's pretty common. And I think that as parents, we tend to personalize information like that. So we go straight to, oh, let me tell you all the things that I do for you and why you shouldn't hate me. But I want everyone to realize that when your child says that, to understand that they really are in an emotional state, a heightened emotional state. And think about yourself when you are arguing with a friend, a spouse, anybody. Do you always have your wherewithal to be able to articulate what you want to articulate and get your point across? No, that does not always happen. So I think that you need to stop and realize that children are using that as a means of communication. And it's not just I hate you. It could be grumpiness. It could be, when they're saying mean and nasty things. I mean, a lot of times this comes with teenage years and things like that. But understand that the children are really communicating. And so if you understand that your children are communicating with you and look at it as that rather than personalizing it, you can start to look at it differently and maybe pick it apart differently. So I just had something with Peyton, and I guess maybe because I knew that this was not something that had anything to do with me. Maybe that was why it was so easy for me not to personalize it. But just the other day, Peyton was having sort of a hard day, and she's 10. She's all of a sudden things are getting a little dicier with her, and she got hysterical over something, and she was crying, and there was the whole fetal position on the floor of the kitchen, and then there was the dramatic running up the steps. We can't forget about that. And so I went up after her, and I wasn't screaming, I wasn't yelling, oh, Peyton, stop with the drama. That's not what somebody wants to hear when they're in the middle of a dramatic rant. And I just sat with her, and I said, do you want me in here? Yes, that's fine. And she ended up saying something that could potentially have been very, very hurtful to me. But I knew that she didn't mean it. I knew that she didn't mean it. And how did I know she didn't mean it? I just do. I know my relationship with my daughter, and I know she didn't mean it. And what I realized in that moment, in that exact moment, because it was piercing, it hurt, I thought to myself, this moment is not about me. This moment is not about how I feel. This is not about any way, shape, or form about me. This is about Peyton. She is hysterical, not me. I'm the adult. I'm the parent. So I'm going to have to deal with this appropriately. So all I told her was, that whatever it was that she said, that it was not the solution to the problem. And that was it. And I held her knowing that she had to be pretty upset to say, what it was that she was saying. And we left it at that. I didn't discuss it with her anymore, and I just went on to discuss the problem that she was having, and that is it. And that is the most important thing, is to realize that your children are trying to communicate with you. So rather than get upset, try and dig for the actual problem and get them to try and articulate what it is that they're upset about, and you can start to problem solve. And that is a much, much, much better tool that they will use. So in parenting, and I always say to my parenting pioneers, you know, what is it that we're trying to accomplish? What is our job as a parent? We're teaching our children lessons. That's what we're teaching them. And in that moment, do you want to say, oh, you shouldn't say hurtful things, or, you know, that kind of thing? Well, yeah, those are important lessons, but we can't teach them that you can't say hurtful things until we teach them what they can say and how to articulate it. You know, we're talking about children. My daughter's 10 years old. How is she supposed to be able to articulate those types of very emotional feelings? And so understand that it is our job to really teach them those types of things. So that's really it. It's a means of communication. And I've actually told my clients in the past that when they are feeling really agitated or personalizing information that their children are telling them, I always say, if you can't listen to it, if it's getting too difficult and you just can't listen to it, pretend that they're laughing, or pretend that they are making a different sound that may not annoy you. Pretend they're giggling. You know, if it's too difficult to not personalize it, just pretend that they are saying, I love you. And that's really what they're doing, and not saying I hate you or something mean. And just swap it for something else and understand that that is their way of communicating, and take yourself out of the equation. That's always the most important thing. In that moment, like I said, when it happened to me, the very first thing I thought was, oh my God, seriously? How in the world are you going to say this to me? Oh my God, you can't, really? And you automatically go through all of the things that you do for this child, like the list, like all of a sudden the bullet point list appears, and you're thinking, I can't believe you just said that, after all the things that I do. And you know what? It was like it was going in slow motion in my head. And I thought, this is not about me. This child is screaming and crying like a lunatic, and it has nothing to do with me. She is upset. She is legitimately upset. And I am not going to worry about something so ridiculous when I know she doesn't mean it. And like I said, you just have to teach them. You have to give them the tools, and really just separate yourself. And also, don't give it a lot of attention. So afterwards, I didn't say to Peyton, oh my God, how could you say such a thing? Oh my God, it's so crazy. We didn't have that kind of conversation. It didn't happen. I didn't really want to give it too much attention. Not too much. I didn't want to give it any attention whatsoever, so that she knew that it was something inappropriate, that if there was a time that she wanted to hurt me purposefully, that she would go back to that. So, you know, we just kind of dipped right over it. It's like any kind of negative behavior that a child has, that's not something you want to concentrate on. So let it go. Do not give it life. I tell people that all the time. Any kind of negative behavior, do not give it life. Do not breathe fire into it. Do not give it life. So don't pay attention to it. Don't react. And then don't talk about it to death afterwards. Let it go. Get to the root of the problem and be done. So that is it for tonight. Nobody's asking any questions. No biggie. I'm looking at my notes to make sure that, yes, don't personalize it. I wrote that big letters and pretend that they're saying something else. Those are my big tips. So anyway, that is it for Don't Breathe Life. Yep, Don't Breathe Life. I know you like that one. No, I just got on. Sorry. Okay, well, that is it, you guys. Like I said, I'm at an event tonight, so that's why I'm in my car. Whee! I know I look like a crazy person, right? Anyway, so that is it, and I love you guys. Have an awesome weekend. I'm trying to think. Is there anything special happening this weekend? No. Thank you, Simona. That's always important. Nothing happening this weekend. There's a big fight. If anybody watches the UFC, I really only like boxing, but I will be watching this fight Saturday night, George St. Pierre versus Michael Bisping. So George St. Pierre is a great fighter. So for anybody that doesn't like the UFC, it will actually be a good fight because George St. Pierre is a good fighter. Anyway, that is it. And so keep that in mind for the big I hate you moments. If you haven't had them yet, you will. Don't worry, you will get your I hate you moments. So just remember, stay calm, cool, collected. I know it sounds much easier than it is, but if you take the attention off of you and you worry about your child and you stay in the moment with them, it will be a lot easier. And just dig and find out what the real problem is and then teach them how to communicate in a better way. Okay? And again, remember that we as adults don't always communicate so effectively either when we're upset. So give your kids a break, okay? We have a lot more experience and we're not even that great at it. So cut them a break. All right. I love you guys. I will see you next week. Can you guys believe that Thanksgiving is around the corner? Holy shitskis. What? Okay. Anyway, that's it. I love you.